Hi and welcome to another one of our weekly forecast videos. In this video we're going to go through the charts of Bitcoin, Euro, Dollar and Gold as our top 3 instruments. I'm going to show you some nice setups that you can potentially take advantage of and possibly make some money for yourself. Alright, if you haven't watched our previous videos, make sure to do so, and that way you can find out how we analyze the market, what tools do we use in our technical analysis, and also what are our best profitable strategies when we trade the market. Okay, before we continue with this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out any of our future content. Also, check out the links in the description down below and join our free Telegram channel where you can find a lot more valuable trading information. Okay, without further ado, let's carry on. So what we do every time before we pop onto the charts is we go through the economic calendar, and that's what I suggest that every one of you does in the beginning of the week. Okay, we want to be prepared for whatever economic events we might have throughout the week, and if there's something that could, potentially reverse price direction or affect it in some way, we want to be aware of that. Now, today is Monday, 6th of September, and it's actually a day off for Canada and the US. So that means we are expecting a quiet day today, but as of tomorrow, we've got some important events coming up pretty much every day until the rest of this week. So we've got Royal Bank of Australia's interest rate decision in the early morning hours of Tuesday. Then we've got Bank of Canada's interest rate decision on Wednesday. Okay, and the following day on Thursday, we've got the European Central Bank interest rate decisions. Okay, so that's an important event that is definitely capable of setting up a new trend or reversing an existing one already. Okay, and then on Friday we've got the unemployment rate again for Canada, but to be honest, on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday we've got much more important news coming out. Okay, so since we know what to look for and what to be aware of, let's hop onto the charts and see where price currently is. The first instrument that we're going to go through will be Bitcoin. And on the daily time frame, we could see price continuing higher, breaking above previous structure and creating new higher structure. Then we can go down to the 4-hour time frame, and there was a triangle pattern that we looked at in the previous video, which means last Monday. And so if you've watched this video, you could have taken advantage of that opportunity that played out very well, since we now have a breakout of this triangle pattern and an upside continuation. Okay, and if you've missed that entry on the breakout, we're going to step down to the hourly chart, and I'm going to show you a potential setup that you could be looking for throughout today or the next couple of days as well. Okay, so let's hop onto the chart and see how that looks. Okay, so I've got the daily chart open here on Bitcoin, and I'm looking at price action. I know that last week when we talked about what's going on with Bitcoin, price was holding here at support resistance level. So right down here, okay, we wanted to see what's going to happen next. So we talked about that it's better to wait for either a break below and continuing lower, or a break above of previous structure, which means this high right here. So it looks like price broke to the upside, and that was our bias since we had this triangle pattern here on the 4-hour chart. Okay, we've talked about price action closing inside of this triangle and possibly breaking to the upside, which has now already happened. We actually had a retest as well right here and perfectly played out and completed pattern. Okay, now that confirms that we're looking at an upside move, so probably the uptrend continues. If we look at a daily chart again, the major levels are this high right here at 59k, and also the one right here at 63,500 values, so right around here. Okay, we've got some minor levels prior to that, which are from the fib expansion tools that we've got on the chart. But since we know in what direction to trade, which again is long trades, that's what we're looking for, buy setups, we can then drop down to the hourly chart and see, what we could potentially wait for. Now, looking at price action here, we've got this upside impulse. We now have a pullback, another upside push, a little bit of a longer period pullback right here. Price held sideways for quite some time, but it then again broke above previous structure, right? So what we could look for right now is a possible pullback to again previous structure right here, and I believe that will give us a nice buy level at which we can get involved into a long position trade. Okay, if we're going to be doing that, then we can look for stops just below this market structure right down here, and that will be a little bit more of an aggressive stop loss, but if you really want to be safe, you will get a slightly worse risk to reward ratio, but you can use this level down here as your potential stop loss level, and that is more of a conservative stop loss, as it will be all the way down here below all that structure. Okay, so looking at target levels again, we're talking up at 57k. Okay, then next we have 59k, and we'll talk about further take profit levels once we get up here. Okay, now again, looking at the hourly chart, if price violates this support right here and it breaks below it and it then continues lower and lower, creating new lower structure, and especially if it breaks below this lows right here, well then that would mean that we're most likely to again test out this support resistance level right here. So if that happens here on the hourly chart, then that means we're not going to be looking for long positions. But if we see price coming down here, testing this level, giving us a rejection signal, a long wick, a couple of weeks to the downside or anything like this, maybe a double bottom, well then that would be a perfect buy setup. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're looking for here on Bitcoin, and please feel free to share your opinion in the comment section down below. Okay, so let's carry on with the next instrument. Moving on to euro dollar. First, we're gonna start off again with the daily chart, where we'll see what are the price current levels, and if we've had any previous structure at those levels. Then we're going to drop down to the 4-hour chart, and we will see what is the chance for a downside reversal and when this idea won't be valid if, let's say, price breaks above a certain level. And then finally, we're going to have a look at the hourly chart and see what entry opportunities we might have on euro dollar pretty soon. All right, let's move on to the chart again. So what we're looking at here is the daily time frame here on euro dollar. I'm going to zoom in once, and after this rally, a bullish rally that we've just had in the past couple of weeks, price has now stopped and it's currently holding at this level up here, where we've also got previous structure, we've got previous highs, wicks testing out this same level, and even all the way back here again we've had multiple price reactions. Okay, so obviously a strong resistance level up here. We've also got this reversal candle giving us a signal that we might actually see that reversal happening here pretty soon. Okay, now I've got this red zone because this is also the NFP candle that we had on Friday. Okay, so we want to see price breaking below this structure, basically the downside wick of the candle, possibly give us a retest, and then we are expecting to see euro dollar continuing lower for quite some time, and testing out this previous structure, and also maybe even coming down as low as this previous low. Okay, so that's quite long term, and I don't want you to pay attention to that much, but we want to see what is the next move that this pair will most probably make. Okay, so again, looking at the daily time frame, we are at strong resistance level. So then we're going to drop down to the 4-hour time frame, and like I said, we want to see a clear break and close below this level right here, which is basically the 1.1860 level. All right, then that would mean we could then wait for a pullback and then potentially to short price down. Okay, now if in fact we see market breaking above this structure right here, let me give you the level for that as well. So let's say we're looking at 1.1906. okay, so that's the one. If price breaks and close above that, then we could expect for this upside move to continue, because then that would mean we would probably get a higher close on a daily time frame as well. All right, but like I said, I think most probably we will in fact see price continuing lower. Now we're gonna have a look at the hourly chart, and you'll see what I mean. Now you could almost say that we've got that close below, but we want to see price, moving a little bit lower, then coming back for a retest of that level, and this right here could be our entry level. Okay, now if that plays out the way I'm planning to, then that means, let's say, if we make our entry right around here, depending on the pullback, we can then set up our stop loss to about 55 pips, 50 to 55 pips of stop loss. And like I said, I think there's a potential for a much larger profit. But let's say even if you anticipate a move down to this level right here, this previous low, which is also in perfect confluence with this previous high. So that's about 65 pips over 1-to-1 on this trade. But like I said, I think you can easily get 2-to-1 on this type of setup as well. All right, so watch out for price action here on the hourly chart, and hopefully this setup completes so we get a nice and decent entry here on euro dollar. All right, and finally we're gonna have a look at gold, but before that, make sure to like this video if you think it's valuable, get involved in the comment section down below, and also join our free Telegram channel where you can get information like this one on a daily basis. Okay, we've also sent out our specific trade parameters every time we enter a trade into our premium Telegram group. So if you want to join, make sure to get in touch with us, and you can find links in the description down below. Okay, so looking at what's going on with gold, on a daily time frame, we can see that price is currently holding at a strong resistance level, where I can say it's almost a key level in the market. Okay, then we're going to drop down to the 4-hour time frame, and we'll see what are the levels below and above price action, which if breached in either direction, that means price should continue in that same direction. Okay, also we're going to see that into much more detail on the hourly chart, and without further ado, let's open it up. Okay, so here we are on a daily time frame, and looking at price action, it's currently testing the double top that we've had prior to that. Okay, we've also got loads of previous structure right here as well. So like I said, this is a strong level, which is at the 1829 mark, you could say 1830. Okay, so obviously if we see price breaking above that level, closing above it as well, then that would most probably mean that we should see an upside continuation. But what if it doesn't, and that level appears to be still a strong level that can push off price to the downside? Well, then we're going to drop down to the 4-hour chart, and we'll see if price doesn't break above, what then is the next option? Well, the next thing that we could have is market coming down and closing below this support level right here. So basically doing something like this, right? Well, then I think this is a very likely scenario, and if that happens, if we then get a nice pullback, then that means we could be looking at a short trade opportunities. Okay, that will give us a pretty nice trade, because then we could use a stop loss up and above this most recent high, but we could be targeting price levels down here at 1725. Okay, so that gives us a pretty nice and decent risk to reward ratio, with about $30 of stop loss for a potential gain of over $80 of a move. Okay, and if we then pop down to the hourly chart, again what we're looking at here is that same thing, and now we could expect for price to either come and test this minor level right here, which it could use to push off back to the upside, or it could just continue straight down, break below that resistance that we just saw on the 4-hour time frame, and then complete the setup that we would expect anyway. Okay, so again, watch out for price action here on the hourly, on the 4-hour chart, and let's see what market does next. Now, if it breaks above, then the next levels that we're looking at will be 1852 and also 1870. All right, now I hope that helps and you got something out of it. If you did, then let us know in the comment section down below. Give us a like, follow us on social media, and take care, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to watch our last 2 videos where you can find more valuable information. Check out our channel for more trading related videos. I wish you all a successful trading, and I'll see you next time.